Hello, I'm with Dr. Grammenos, Athanasios. Thank you for joining me today. And I'm very excited to hear about the chapter that you've contributed to our edited volume, Greece, the Military Dictatorship, Revisiting a Troubled Past. And when I was looking at your chapter, I was very taken by the originality of your work, especially taking on the topic of church-state relations during the dictatorship. Can you tell us a little bit more about your chapter?
First of all, I have to say that I'm very happy to be part of this wonderful team, and on behalf of my co-author, the main author of this article, Dr. Haris Andreopoulos, and of course myself, I would like to congratulate you and Professor Anastasakis for this initiative that you've taken to revisit this very troubled, as the subtitle says, this very troubled period of Greece, because it's very controversial even today, for many people in Greece and outside Greece. I would like to begin saying that church and state relations in Southeast Europe are always complicated. It's, let's say, a definition in political science because of the involvement that the state usually has on church, because of the influence the latter can exert on the people. And this is what also Junta tried to do, because when the colonials took over the political control of the country, they wanted to make sure that they have access to the grassroots of the society via the church. And they did it in a non-canonical way, in the sense that they established a new law that indirectly was removing the current archbishop, the incumbent archbishop, and imposing a new one of their like.
What did you find most fascinating when you were doing research, you and Haris, for this chapter? What really broke the mold of our understanding regarding church-state relations?
I think with this chapter we found out how important are personalities for politics. In the case of the church, we have Archbishop Ieronymos, who is a player by himself, and he wants to make his church like his own personal field, playground. He did it by challenging the very foundations of the Greek Church, and I'm referring to the two basic texts. It's the tome that the Ecumenical Patriarchate issued back in 1850 that recognized the Greek Church, the Church of Greece, and the terms under which the church was supposed to run, and then the canonical law of 1927. For the people who are not acquainted with the Church of Greece, those laws are very, very important. It's the basis, and they provide the structure under which the church runs. But Ieronymos had a different view. He wanted to make it more independent from the Ecumenical Patriarchate, so as to give himself more space to move in a political way and control it the way he wanted.
Did the Junta leaders know about Ieronymos? Where did he come from? Was he an unknown factor or a known factor?
Ieronymos was always around, but he was not part of the church elite, so to speak. He was near the king. He was, of course, a member of the right and the far right. He was near all those unofficial organizations cultivating nationalist ideas, and he was always part of the establishment. But it was his chance now, collaborating with the colonials, to do the job for them. Nevertheless, this was the chance for him to support his ambitions by supporting the intentions of the colonials.
So overall, do you think that this was a rupture in church-state relations, or do you think there is a legacy of the pre-Junta period during this time?
Although the history of the Church of Greece is, to my view, a history of patronage by the state, this time was sui generis, because it happened in the most arrogant and, as I said before, non-canonical way. In this respect, I would like to add that with this chapter we have challenged the current established scholarship, because we have found out that, of course, the church is not a monolithic entity, the junta was not a monolithic entity, and not all the church structure was supportive of Ieronymos' actions. And this is why, eventually, they managed to overthrow him.
That's very interesting. I am very happy that you were able to contribute this wonderful chapter. Most people don't know about church-state relations during the Junta, and I know that all of our readers are going to enjoy your chapter that you wrote with Haris Andreopoulos. Thank you so much for telling us more about this chapter, and we look forward, I know many will look forward to reading it in print.
Χαράλαμπος and I thank you very much for the invitation, and as we say in Greece, καλό τάξιδο το βιβλίο.
Ευχαριστώ πολύ.